I just got a new job, and I am already feuding with one of my coworkers.
Quit. Not worth it.
I, 31 male, autistic, just started a new job hosting at a locally owned Italian restaurant. I really enjoy it. My coworkers and I are very well together. I found myself fitting in quite well compared to other jobs. At previous jobs, I have developed poor reputations because of my social awkwardness and lack of social awareness and such. Due to my previous jobs, I have taken to telling literally everyone I meet that I am autistic and let them know that it's okay to tell me if they feel uncomfortable or they think I act inappropriate because that's how I learn. By the way, this comes from Big Programmer 9623 on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I have a few people I really get along with at the job. Just more than a, hey, how are you? One person shall be called Ignatius 20 Male likes to make fun of my weight, intelligence, and other such inappropriate aspects, such as the size of my genitalia. He's young, and I don't really care. I definitely have grown to the point that I actually understand he doesn't actually mean anything he's saying. On Friday night, it was busy, and Ignatius decided to make a joke about my intelligence again. I attempted to prove I am smart by telling him a riddle with various few outcomes, which makes it seem like I am reading someone's mind. I followed him around to finish telling him the riddle. However, he began to grow very annoyed. I did not initially perceive this. Any annoyance I saw, I wrote off as he's joking in our typical way. He was not joking, and he told me to shut up. I do not. As a hard rule, I allow people to tell me to shut up. He told me to shut up. I told him I was serious, but he continued to tell me to shut up. I followed him into the kitchen and tried to explain why this is such a sore spot for me. He told me to leave. I finished what I was trying to say and left to acquiesce to his demand and gave him time to get over it. But the rest of the night, I persevered on the issue as people on the spectrum are prone to do. I told my coworkers so that everyone is informed about my feelings on this particular phrase. On Saturday, Ignatius began making noises that indicated that he felt I smelled bad or I was obstructing his path. Because he was joking with me, I felt his ire had subsided. I told him he would need to talk about the issue we had the previous night. He flat out said, No. I told him that in that case, our relationship would strictly be professional. I asked him if he understood, though he had told me before he did not appreciate this phrase. When I realized this, I felt bad. But I did not say anything to apologize. I let the manager know that we were essentially feuding. This was to prime her for me coming to complain in the event that Ignatius insulted me again. As part of our professional relationship, I do not want to accept his jokes as jokes if they include demeaning and vulgarity. She said, okay. She's really good at understanding me, and I think she knows that I just like to make sure everyone is informed. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I love that about you, OP. I want to make sure everyone's informed. Sometimes people aren't informed.
I'm not informed. I didn't know my stories were that bad when I read.
No, it's not you. It's me too. It happens to me too, bro.
Okay.
You're good.
It's us.
It's honestly, I will say, it is the story you read. Like that one you read, crazy.
Okay.
It's really not you.
I hope so.
Throughout the rest of the shift, Ignatius and I didn't make much eye contact, but we did speak politely with thank you and excuse me. I prefer we be on good terms, but it does feel acceptable here. However, I still wonder if I handled this correctly. So, am I the bad apple? We have a bonus Am I the Bad Apple post. What do we think here?
No, this is very odd behavior from Ignatius.
Yeah, he's 20. He's just a 20-year-old teenager.
That's not an excuse to be rude and bullying in a way.
But it's a restaurant service. I mean, guys, if you guys have worked in a restaurant, you guys know that we have people like this. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Tell us.
I know. But this is not okay.
Yeah.
This is unprofessional. And even OP was like, let's be professional.
Mm-hmm.
And OP is doing the right thing. So no, you're the bad apple.
I love what OP's doing, making sure everyone's informed. Like, he knows that he's autistic, and that's harder for people to relate with him. But I think he's doing a fantastic job of informing everyone. And I think, honestly, that is probably why he's excelling at this job rather than others.
That's great.
Because he was like,
because they're doing something I don't think anyone else has done before in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, whoa, like you're actually speaking up.
Yeah.
And you want to, you're doing this for the betterment of everyone.
Yeah. And it's super sweet. He wants to be friends with this kid.
Yeah. Like maybe the kid, like if you guys were friends, I get teasing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the kid's trying to do.
But not like, hey, what's up, you fat fuck?
Jesus Christ.
That's probably what he was saying.
I mean, I know, but Jesus Christ.
Or, bro, you smell like a rhino.
You smell like cat piss.
Yeah. Ugh. Come on. God, well, that was horrible.
There's no excuse for a kid to be rude
Yeah.
and like say mean things and throw things at people. But let's just keep reading. Let's see if the kid follows.
You know what?
through
No, I'm going to keep reading now. Bonus. Am I the bad apple? On Saturday, the day before Father's Day, we began to get slammed. The restaurant's clientele is very persistent on where they want to sit and very rude when making requests. In addition to seating them, I need to make sure that all of the servers get an even amount of tables and bust the tables while the servers can't get to them. This actually is pretty easy. The hardest part is dealing with the aggressive mannerisms of our guests and processing them. My coworkers are very gracious about listening to my complaints, but I feel like I've crossed a couple of lines. On Saturday, we had a group of women come in and requesting a table for 5. I gave them exactly that. They then told me they needed a bigger table because additional guests would be joining them. The newest waitress, we'll call her Sue, 18 female, served them. Apparently there was an issue with the gift card, and Sue spent an inordinate amount of time trying to fix that. Meanwhile, several tables were done and they needed to be bussed. I tried to keep up with bussing tables, but it got very confusing and overwhelming. I did my best to keep up. The way I try to clear tables is to take the trash, then the cups, then the dishes. I then have to take and wipe and reset the silverware. I don't have any issues with this normally, but I felt like it was being left to do on my own throughout the shift. With so many tables, I needed to switch up my strategy to doing more at once and focusing on one table at a time. However, I often forgot which tables I needed to work on when returning from the dish pit. I just began resuming on the nearest table, and that leaves 2 unavailable tables that are half bussed as opposed to 1 unavailable table, 1 unbussed table. This became unbearably overwhelming when a table of 12 came in for Father's Day, and the only table we could seat them had the 7 women. Sue had no time to help me clear the table. I went to the server who was being promoted soon, Devin. I told her that I had a table of 12 coming in, and the only place to sit them was not clean because Sue had been working on the gift card. Devin said she was too busy. I said I understood, and though I felt bad for interrupting her, I still needed help. I asked for guidance. She told me to work on my own pace and seat them when I was ready. This was actually very helpful, though not exactly what I was looking for. I got it ready in time for the bulk of the party to arrive. Then I had to work on several other tables I had not even been able to get to. Veronica, 28 female, was working this section. Several times I saw her turn around and talking to one of the cooks. I did see her doing her work, but it felt like I had to beg her to help me clear the tables. I felt quite the same with Quinn, 24 male. It was overwhelming, and I had to take a break and collect myself, which makes me feel worse. Quinn is constantly playing on his phone, but I asked him to help me as well. I only ask as a last resort because I know I can't handle all of them. A couple of people came into Quinn's section and asked to sit at multiple other tables because she did not like where I sat them. I had to tell them that there were no other clean tables. So after everything, I talked to Devin. Devin doesn't like conflict at all. I do not know how she's going to deal with that as a manager, but I guess we'll find out. So I apologize for being abrasive and anxious. I complained that I felt that Quinn and Veronica were not helping when they should have. She told me to keep in mind that they pay me to bust their tables. I had never heard this before, but I acted like I knew. I did know I got a share of credit card tips, but it's really not enough to justify leaving me overwhelmed. I do my best to bust the tables, but I might need some other accommodations to make it smoother. Eventually, I calmed down, but I felt terrible for complaining, especially to Devin. I asked her later if we were okay. She said yes, but I still felt terrible because I have a hard time forgiving myself. But I will forgive you if only you show up at 3 p.m. PST live when we are on YouTube. Just tap our profile.
Tap it.
Dude, I am so informed by every single scenario right now.
It's very detailed.
I like this.
I like that.
I wish I thought this way.
I like the way that we're being told this. It's just, I feel like at this restaurant,
It's just going to be crazy.
I think they're just hiring a lot of youngins.
And I like OP's attentiveness.
Yeah.
This is a really good skill. I wonder,
No,
outside of the restaurant industry, where he could, put this to use.
No, 100%.
This is a good skill set.
But I don't appreciate how they don't respect OP.
Well, that's just restaurants. People don't really respect other people. Devin's awesome.
No, yeah. But it's just like
Ignatius, come on, dude.
It's just like, again, I feel like a lot of these kids are just, or a lot of these people that are new hires or whatever working there are just, they're just kids.
Yeah,
and they don't know how to act, and they're just like, oh, you're a little bit older. That
I think OP's just ranting.
Yeah.
I also talked to Veronica about this. Veronica is super sweet and seems to genuinely like me. I told her I felt okay discussing this with her because she knows I love her and I know she'll forgive me. Aww. So she explained that she is never just stopped and talking unless she is intentionally stopped to break from work. Other times she had other things to take care of. I understood this and I felt terrible about for complaining. I really appreciated her explaining it to me, but I still feel terrible. So am I the bad apple for complaining? OP, you're just gonna have to process this and you're good, dude.
Yeah, I think you're
It's way of
allowed.
life.
You're definitely allowed to complain. You're not a bad apple for it.
Nah.
But if it can, if it persists, it's not. If it's stressing you out that much,
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.